We are so excited to host everyone here tonight. We want to thank our sponsors at United. United supports independent film.
Sundance has officially taken off, and our guests are looking pretty fly. And of course, no one flyer than Kristen Stewart, our guest of honor here tonight at the Variety cover party.
Sundance is such a welcoming place. It supports marginalized voices that aren't heard anywhere else.
Sundance is such a perfect place to experience community, so I'm just so excited. Celebrating like the actual Sundance royalty of Kristen Stewart, 20 years coming here.
The GOAT. I think she's so incredible. I'm excited to celebrate her tonight.
Come up on stage and say hi to everyone, Kristen Stewart.
Thank you to Variety for the genuinely warm support for many decades.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great night tonight.
Talk about one of your literal community members on this film, Kristen Stewart. She's the whole reason why we're celebrating this shindig tonight. What is it about Kristen that makes her so cool?
God, you know, she's the real adult version of cool, which is that she's incredibly kind, she's incredibly hardworking, she's so passionate, she's so deeply knowledgeable about film. I learned so much from doing scenes with her. A very good example, I think, of what a generous scene partner she is I was so excited to do this movie that when I did my first scene with her, I was smoking a cigarette and my hand was shaking so much that it blew the cigarette out, and the scene ended and I was so embarrassed, and Kristen was like, no, we want people with us that are going to care about the movie that much. That's perfect. It was the nicest thing she could have said to me. I learned she's so talented, she's so courageous. Now I'm just being dorky, but I played.
That's what we want. Gush, gush, gush.
I mean, I played a character that was very in love with her, and it was one of those moments that acting was just very easy.
What role of hers made you fall in love with her before being in a movie together?
God, I think Clouds of Sils Maria is a really good testament to her taste. I mean, I feel like people's careers are born out of their talent, but also their instincts and their taste, and she has such elevated and fascinating interests, and I cannot wait for her directorial feature debut. I think she's going to be an incredible director.
Have you already pitched yourself a role in that?
You have no idea. You have no idea. Several. I was like, but what if I just even a background? I'm down. She's just so special, and yeah.
You have, of course, we've been talking. You've got two of the most anticipated movies at the festival. One of them in just a couple hours, Love Lies Bleeding. You'll be at the theater waiting for the anticipated reaction. Do you still get nervous?
Yeah, of course. I can usually hear my heart pounding my chest plate. But I will say that Sundance is such a welcoming place for people like us. Yeah, I don't know. I get nervous because I care about the people that made it, and it's hard to be a stronger voice than the movie is. So when we come here, we're supposed to be like, all right, Rose Glass, filmmaker that I love and respect so deeply, I got you, I'm going to represent. You know what I mean? It's more just like, oh, I hope I say all the right stuff because I love this movie.
You have been reflecting a lot this week, it feels like, about the 20 years that you've spent coming to this festival, and you mentioned in your speech about how it lights a fire under you. What is the thing about Sundance that makes it different from anywhere else that you go?
It's hard to get here, and not just because it's like an established and elite film festival, but because it supports marginalized voices that aren't heard anywhere else. And so when you come here, you feel together, and like that it's a solidifying communal feeling, and that only makes you stronger to go back into a world full of no and say, yo, I know that there's a place for me.
What has been your most memorable movie watching experience at Sundance? I know you probably don't get to make it to the theater that often, but is there one in all of these years you've been coming that you will remember?
Oh my gosh, it was the first year I was here, I was allowed to see one movie, and like, what was it? This is the worst answer. I don't...
Or like a performance that really, like, you were like, oh my gosh, either I want to work with this person or like I want to be like this person after seeing them on screen.
No, to me, this is like the land of all of the actors that I love and admire. Like, this is the land of Evan Rachel Wood and Jenna Malone and like Natalie Portman. I think I was here the year Garden State was here. and I was like just a kiddo and obsessed with her performance, and I really wanted to see it while I was here, but I couldn't get a ticket. And then I went home immediately and saw it, and so maybe that.
So many of your colleagues are here, so many of your co-stars from Love Me and Love Lies Bleeding. When you think about these creatives that you've worked with this year, what kind of stands out to you about those two casts in particular?
Well, for Love Me, it's just me and Steven. And the directors are so present in every scene. When I watch the film, I can see them like reflections. And then today, finally getting back together with the Love Lies Bleeding crew, I was just like, there is Jenna Malone and there is Ed Harris. And they're such good actors. You don't always work with the great ones. And it just was sort of studded. And it can be intimidating, but you rise to the occasion. You know what I mean? Like, you really stand on your tippy toes in those occasions.
I remember about being a scene partner with Jenna Malone, and as you think back, just mentioning, like, this is somebody that you watched and were like, she's so cool, I want to work with her one day. What do you remember about the first time y'all were on set together?
Yeah, we have a kind of a sisterly showdown, and she shocked the pants off me. Like, she sort of screamed in my face in a way that was not even remotely scripted. And it took me so far back, I think I fell backwards on a bed, and then she landed on top of me and started pummeling me. That was not in the script. And I was like, give it to me. Yeah.
Yes, let's be in the moment, let's do this thing.
Yeah, and I've looked up to her as a sister in a sort of, in a place of more distance, but like, when you know people on screen and you're like, I feel like I know you. I feel like we could be family even though we've never really spent time. And so we had this kind of historical admiration. And in the movie, we love each other very much, but there's a lot of violence in our relationship too, and love and hate hold hands. And we were like, she's such an incredible scene partner.
And was just telling me how supportive of a scene partner that you were, and how it made a huge difference for her in making this movie. What does it feel like to be able to be that support system for younger actors on set?
Oh, I needed it so badly when I was little, and I can definitely pinpoint the occasions where I did not rise to the occasion because the alchemical balance on set wasn't something that I could sort of vibe with. And it's a generous act to look at a kid on set, or just someone younger than you, and go like, yo, I'm gonna step outside of myself and my own responsibilities and sort of be like, how do we hold hands and level up? It's my favorite thing. It's why I want to direct movies. It's so we can all help each other do better.
What do you think it is about Kristen as a performer that is so standout?
I honestly just think she's just real and natural. A lot of performances you see are like crafted to perfection and I just think she just is living in the moment and is there and present, and I think that's what makes her so special to watch and just fun and intriguing and human. I love watching her.
Congratulations. We're here, we have debuted the film. How are y'all feeling? I mean, this is one of the most anticipated movies of the festival, and now it's out in the world.
It feels really good to share it with people.
Yeah, I feel elated. I mean, this has been just the sort of pinnacle of filmmaking for me since I was a little kid. So just being here is an absolute joy.